Hello there, welcome everybody. It's Diorama Don here, and this is it's my first attempt at modelling an aeroplane. So the obvious plane to model is the Spitfire, most famous plane of all of World War II, I suppose. So this is my version of it. I made it from polystyrene and cardboard, that's all, and the rest of the video will be showing you how I went about making it. So please subscribe to the channel before I forget. Click that like button, and let's get on with the rest of the video. So we're going to make a Spitfire aircraft. What we need is 2 pieces of cardboard. Doesn't matter what size the cardboard is, we're not going to use these. These are not going to be part of the aircraft. So any bit of cardboard will do. The cardboard in a cornflake packet, that type of thing will do. All we need is a template. So 1/32 scale is 11.5 inches long. So we need to cut these to 10.5 inches long, because the tail fin is going to be stick out 1 inch at the back there. So the body of the plane is only 10.5 inches. So if we cut that 10.5 by 2 inches, which is wait, don't go away, 27 centimeters by 5 centimeters. Okay, then we need to mark out the profile of a Spitfire. I could give you lots of millions of dimensions, but it really is a case of looking on the internet. If you type Spitfire plan, then there's all kinds of drawings and plans of Spitfires. The only thing I would say is this is straight. The back bit is taller than the cockpit. So the cockpit's there, that shape. Then there's a flat bit. Then it tapers back to about 7/8 of an inch wide at the back end. So there's a taper there. There's a slight taper at the bottom there. This is straight. Then you've got the nose cone there, and then that could have kind of bulbous shape there at the bottom. That's the best I can do. I could give you dimensions as to how to do it, but quite honestly, it would be easier if you just observed yourself and made that template. But once we've got that shape, then we can set that onto our piece of card, draw around it, and cut a second one out. So we have 2 of them. Okay. Then what we need is a piece of polystyrene 1 inch thick, because 1 inch is about the width of a Spitfire 1/32 scale. Then with just a little tiny touch of glue, hot melt glue is probably the best, just a little tiny bit. We're going to stick that onto there, that side, and then the same this side, little tiny bit of glue, and then just stick it. It's not going to be a permanent fixture like that. And then making sure that both are the same profile either side, so that goes right up to the end, same as that one, and that's at the bottom, so they're equally positioned either side. Then we can cut away all this excess here. With a knife it's easy, because you've got the card to rest on. So as you cut through the polystyrene, once you meet the card, both sides, then you're bound to get a perfect, you'll end up with a perfect profile. You could use one of those polystyrene cutters. They battery operated things with the hot wire cutter. That's what I'm trying to say. You could use a hot wire cutter because the wire then would sit on both sides of the card. Obviously it wouldn't cut the card, but as you draw it through, it'll cut away that polystyrene, and you will be left then with the profile of a Spitfire. Then what you need to do is round off the edges, and it's easy, very easy to do with sandpaper on polystyrene. It takes away very quickly. So again, you'd have to observe the body of a Spitfire and work out how to how much of a radius you put on the corners, and there will be a radius on the bottom. As you look at it that way, from about four inches from the back to about ½ an inch wide at the very rear, then that would you'd have to cut that at an angle like that, so it would look like that kind of shape. So that's the most difficult part, to get that shape. But yeah, again, it would be easier with a knife rather than a hot wire cutter. If you've got the marks both sides, you can pull your knife through, making sure that you're going through the same pencil mark on both sides, so it's the same. I will do one. I will do it. Come back and I will show you how I got on, and you may then know what I'm talking about a little more. So I'll go ahead and do that. Stick these on, cut all around, and then shape it to how it should look. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so this is literally 10 minutes from my previous section of video. It just didn't take long whatsoever. Once we've got that tapered shape there, then you're on a roll, because all you've got to do then is just radius the corners. I've left this area for the wings here, which is 2 inches from the front, and then 2 inches for the width of the wing. So 2 inches and 2 inches, leave it square, and then the rest, that's easy enough to put a radius on this area, and a slight radius on the cockpit there and the front, and then the nose cone just come to a point there. And as I say, that taper at the back there is probably the most difficult. And if you make a mistake, it's only a little bit of polystyrene, and you've already got the templates made. So you could make dozens and dozens of Spitfires once you've got those templates anyway. So it's it took me about 3 or 4 attempts yesterday to work out how to get the shape. So anyway, there we are. There's the shape of the body. What we need now is some wings. So again, wait. The magic of video editing. Forgot my ruler. So we need another piece of card. This is going to be another template. This needs to be 2 inches wide. No, it doesn't. It needs to be 2.5 inches wide, and 6 3/8 long. And again, to get the shape, you're going to have to look on the internet. The whole point of the shape of the Spitfire wing was that it was quite a shallow curve on the front end, and then quite a bit more of a curve on the back end, and this curved bit is slightly above the halfway mark, so for about there, that's where the curve is. So that's basically the shape of one wing. So on a piece of card, this time you will need 2mm card. We're going to use this. So put that on and mark around. The reason I'm only doing one at a time is that you can turn that over and you know that the opposite wing is going to be exactly the same size. It's going to be concentric. And then with this part here, just a bit of a curve, because the wing span is 13 3/4 wide, which is 35 centimeters. That's the important measurement. 35 centimeters, and then the 2.5 inch. Is that right? Yeah. So you'll end up with that. Once you've got your template like that, making sure that you know which is the front and the back, that will go on there, and then that will go on there, leaving a 1 inch gap in the middle for where the plane will go, like that. Okay, then you need to do the same with the same template. Mark that out on your polystyrene. I've altered the shape slightly, so they're going to be it's going to be slightly different to others that I've done. So just put that onto polystyrene, cut those out, and they will sit either side of the plane like that. Don't put the middle bit in yet. So these will go either side like that. I'll do it. I'll cut these out, put them on, and shape it to what I'm trying to explain, not very well, and then we'll go on to the next step from there. I think that'll be the best idea. Okay, so I cut my pieces of polystyrene out with my template, one each side, so I know that they're exactly the same. Stuck them onto the 2mm cardboard with the 1 inch gap, so that will that will sit in there like that. So it's looking a little more plain like now. Okay, so I can stick that on there. Now the most drastic thing that I'm going to do, you've got the nose cone, shape the nose cone to a nice point there, but what we're going to do, if I can do I trust myself to do this over the camera? About there. We're going to cut that off like so. So we've got the nose cone there. Then again another template. So whatever that is, whatever shape that is, make that a similar type of shape for that to sit on like that. Then a circle. This is going to be about 3/4, and the blade's about 2 inches long, 50mm. So you'll need 2 inches, 3/4, 2 inches, and make a square of that. Then draw a circle, divide that into 3, trial and error, I suppose, with a pair of compasses, and then make that shape on the three propeller ends. So you'll end up with that. And if you've got that as a template, put it on to another piece and cut it out, and then just slightly twist it, sort of like that. Okay, then that's going to go on there, and then we're going to stick the nose cone back on like that, so we'll have a propeller on the front, and that'll be fine when that's all painted up. Okay, so that's our propeller. At the back we need two pieces. I don't know the names of these parts of the wing, but the upright, the sticky uppy bit, that's going to sit into the back there with about an inch sticking out. So we're going to cut a groove 2 millimeters wide. That's why this doesn't need to be too thin. It would actually be thinner, but it's got to be reasonably thick so that we can cut that groove 2 millimeters thick, and then that will slot in to the groove like that. And then this piece, which is, again, I'll have to trust you to do the shape, but it's 4 1/4 or 11 centimeters long by 1.5 inches or 4 centimeters wide, and that's the shape that you need. Okay, so it's, well, there, that's the shape you need. Impossible for me to explain it without giving you dimensions. So that will slot into there. I've gone a little bit too far with that. It only needs to go as far as there. So that'll slot into that like that, and then that will slot into the slot that you've made on the actual aircraft. So it'll look like that, although that will be inside. Okay, so with that and that on the front and that in there, you've got an aeroplane. So I will put all this together, make it look a bit better, and come back, and that will be the end of that will be the making of the aircraft. The next stage will be to prepare it for painting. So I'll be back in a moment. So I put all the bits and pieces together, and once it was all assembled, I gave it a coat of watered down wall filler, because we can't really paint straight onto polystyrene. It's not a good medium to paint on. So I gave it a whole coat of watered down wall filler, and then sanded that down so it was nice and smooth. And then I put a second coat on and sanded that down as well. Then gave it a coat of grey paint, and now I'm ready for completing the whole thing. So that's as far as I'm going to go as far as explaining how to make it. It's a case of, once you've got the profile of the sides and the wing, the propeller and the back wings, I still don't know what they're called. Once you've got those templates, you can, even though you make a mistake, and I've made a lot of mistakes trying to get as far as this, so it's a case of being able to, once you've got these, you can make as many as you like. You can make a whole squadron of the things if you really want to. So these are the sizes that are important. So we've got the right dimension of 10 and, what is it, 10 3/4? No, 11 and a half. By the time the propeller is on with the nose cone, it will be 11 and a half inches. That's important. And then 13 3/4 for the wingspan. So 1/32 scale, they are the sizes that you need. And I don't know if I explained properly with the polystyrene, by sticking these either side and making sure they're the same either side. Oh, wrong way round. Very good. So they're like that. So sticking these just temporarily either side, and then with one of these you can down a bit. You can go down onto the cardboard on either side and follow the line follow the line of the cardboard. Like that. That's what I was talking about. Then with a sharp knife, take these off, just cut through where you've glued them onto the side, take them off, and then you can shape this like that, which is very easy to do with sandpaper. So I'll finish the whole plane off completely. I've got an idea for the exhaust outlets on the side there. I will explain later. Got the propeller and the nose cone. We need a couple of wheels, one at the back, and then carry on painting, and that will be it. So I'll show you the finished object, and I'll be back in just a moment. So the last we saw it, I just painted it grey. So then I painted the camouflage green on top. Don't know if you can see that. You can't see it very well, but then that's what camouflage is. You're not supposed to. So we got the basics done of painting. So all the rest was trying to find out how to complete the plane. So for the exhausts along the side here, the 6 exhaust outlets, what I did was get a barbecue stick which has a pointy end, cut off 18mm or 3/4 of an inch, and then with a pencil sharpener resharpen the end, cut off 3/4, resharpen 3/4 all the way up the length. So you had 12 pieces 3/4 of an inch long. Stuck the sharp pieces into a piece of polystyrene and then sprayed them silver, and then when that was dry just put a little blob of black on the end. So then, because I had the point at one end and this is polystyrene, all I did was just push each piece 6 times either side. Could have been a little bit straighter, I suppose, but it gives a very good impression of those exhaust outlets. Okay, so that was easy enough. The guns on the front, the small one is the point of a biro pen, and the long one is a toothpick. So again, that was easy enough. The lettering and the the RAF sign on there and there, used an A4 sheet of copy paper, cut out the letters, cut out each individual circle, so 1, 2, 3, 4 different circles, 4 different colours, and then just stuck those on top of each other. So that gives and then only the blue and red on that one. So, and also the stripes. I just cut the same thin paper with PVA glue, and then stuck black and white stripes on there. Okay, so that's that. That's another cocktail stick. I can't say that very well. Another cocktail stick there. The wheels, I used a piece of barbecue stick and then a piece of drinking straw. Where are my wheels? I used the wheels from an old bogie from an old train set, so I cut that wheel off. That stuck on the inside like that. That came down there as the suspension, like that, and then the pointy bit stuck up into the polystyrene. So that's all I did for the wheels, which I don't know if you can see, turned out reasonably well. And the back is just a rubber washer with 2 toothpicks either side just again stuck up into the polystyrene. And I did what I said I would do with the propeller. So painted it black, stuck it onto the exposed piece of polystyrene, and then stuck the nose back on over the top. And I think you will agree it looks okay. I don't think there's much of a problem with it. Obviously not the same intricate design and what you might get with a plastic kit. I'm not saying that, but it's a pretty good second. It's okay. And again, once you've got your templates of how you made it in the first place, then you can make as many as you like, and of course it would be faster. You'll be able to make them a lot quicker once you've got these made already. So all you need then is the profile of the body, the shape of the wing, and the propeller, and the back wing bits like that. So once you've got that, you can make as many as you like. Okay, so there we go. One Spitfire aeroplane. My first attempt at a proper aeroplane. I made the Horsa glider in the previous video, but this is my first attempt at a full. I'm going to say a working aeroplane. It's not a working aeroplane. As a model aeroplane, it's my first attempt, shall we say that. I didn't mention actually the cockpit cover. I just painted that white, then with a black felt tip put in the framework, and then did what I did for the whole thing. Give it a light spray of black aerosol spray, just to tone everything down. The white of these stripes was too white. The nose cone was too white. This was too white. So I just toned everything down, sort of aerosol spray can of about 3 or 4 feet away, and just a very slight haze over the top of everything. And it looks a lot better, I believe. So, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope it gives you an idea. If you wanted to make a plane without using a plastic kit, this cost me, I would say, 50p. Just a dollar, maybe a little bit more, 75 pence, $1, something like that. Certainly no more. Just cost no. The materials are easily available, and you know, just doesn't cost much money. Okay, so again, thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel, please, and you will be informed when new videos come along. In the meantime, have a go yourself. Let me know how you get on in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. And as always, I wish you happy modelling.